Let me start this video off by saying that this video is dedicated to those who just cannot be bothered learning EOLR, but still want to be the best that they can with Roux. Now, if you want to be the absolute best that you can with Roux, then eventually you will have to learn EOLR, so it's just recommended to do it early on. And with that, let's get into the video on how to improve your LSE without learning EOLR. So I'm gonna take you through each step of LSE and showing you what you can do to improve that. So first we have EO, and for this I would just recommend learning multiple angles for EO cases. So for instance, for this case, what you would normally do is something like MU prime M, and that will give you the arrow. However, if you were to get it from this angle, then what you could do instead is MU M prime, and that would also give you an arrow. So just overall, like, learn multiple angles for EO cases. This just pretty much saves one move. And once you get to the arrow, then make sure to do the right U move. For example, here we have this piece on the right, which is one of our LR pieces. And we want to make sure that we insert this into the bottom layer so that we make our LR edges easier. So for instance, here what we could do is M prime U M, and that inserts it into the bottom layer. And our other pieces here, and then we just have easier LR edges basically. Now for LR edges, here just make sure that you know the special cases. For example, for this case where we have a bar here and our LR edge at the back, what we do is just set it up exactly like this and then do M prime U2 M. Or if you get the same thing, but our LR or one of our LR edges is on the front and we have a bar at the back, then we do MU2M. Now if we have a bar here, but these two are opposite and these two also, and our other LR edge is at the back, then what we do is MU2M prime, and these are solved. And if it's from the back instead, and the LR edge is at the front obviously, then we do M prime U2M, and they are solved once again. Here, very obvious, we have these two but in the wrong spots pretty much. We just do M2, U2, M2, and they are solved. So other than that, I would also recommend that you get comfortable with setting up to those cases if you have both your LR pieces in the top layer. For instance, here they are adjacent to each other, and what you would do instead of, like, for example, inserting this one with M prime and then this one and M2, then what you would do instead is just insert this one with M2, and then you have one of these cases again, and that just saves a couple of moves. So now for last four edges, here I just have recognition tips, as I hope that you know how to solve every single case in the most efficient way. So for our first cases, we have one edge at the top and one in the bottom already inserted. And how you know whether to do the standard insert or this one is by this edge right here. And pretty much if this edge is opposite of the other two colors, that means that you have the regular insert. However, if you have a bar right here and these two are not opposite, then instead you have the other case, which goes like this. Now the same cases, but this time the centers are wrong, so them two away from being solved. So for these cases, it's pretty much the exact opposite. So if you have a bar right here, that means that you just have to align the piece and do MU to M or M prime U to M prime, depending on the angle. And if you have opposites right here, then what you do instead is an M2, U2, and then just do this insert right here. So with these tips, obviously if you don't want to learn EOLR, I would say that you can get your last 10 pieces to sub 5 very easily. And I would recommend also training your last 10 pieces and not just LSE by itself, because you automatically also train your EO recognition for that. However, once again, I highly recommend you learn EOLR, and I mean, that's coming from someone who didn't learn EOLR as well yet. But I am learning it, so I highly recommend you do too if you want to be the absolute best that you can at Roux. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.